Hello and welcome to the FM Championship Goal Show. Let's have a look at the results from game week 1, and it saw some eventful games including a 9-3 victory for Wycombe against Rotherham and a 6-2 victory for Millwall against Stoke City. The league table looks like this. Wycombe are top of the league with a 100% record. Derby County as well are on 6 points. Rotherham are looking for their first points of the season. Wycombe Wanderers and Blackburn Rovers is our first game of this week. Blackburn Rovers come into this game in 8th place, while Wycombe are currently top of the league. This game was full of controversy and was abandoned, so both fixtures were not to be counted, and both teams are actually now looking for new managers. Both teams are in good shape for the start of this season, but who is able to come in and take charge? Our second game is Brentford against Huddersfield. I saw Huddersfield win the first game away from home 2-1, and there was some lovely play from outside the box, and it was Bakuna for the goal, and it went into the bottom left hand corner. Huddersfield continued to press, and it was Ward who put the ball into the back of the net. Brentford weren't done. It was 20 that played the long ball forward, and then it was a mistake from the Huddersfield defender that allowed Perez to go through and strike the ball into the bottom left hand corner. Second game saw Huddersfield lose at home 2-1 to Brentford, but however in this game they did take the lead with the ball played over the top and the striker putting the ball into the back of the net from close range. Brentford's first goal came from a long ball from De Silva, and then it was Ivan Toney that threaded the ball through to Emile Smith-Rowe, who put the ball into that bottom left hand corner. Brentford continued to press, but it was on the 86th minute where the ball was played over the top, and it was Perez who got his second goal against this opposition. Our next game is Coventry City against QPR, and this game saw a 2-2 draw in the first game and a 1-1 draw in the second game. Both teams were unable to upload the highlights to the show, but hopefully in the following weeks they are able to, and we can see some of the goals and performances from some of their players. Both teams are looking steady at the moment. 2 draws from 2 games this week, so both teams will be looking to capitalise on that and hopefully hit some good form in the following weeks. Next game is Luton Town against Derby County. The first game saw a 1-1 draw, and it was Luton Town who took the lead, and it was Lockyer with the finish from the free kick. And Wayne Rooney managed to bag himself a goal. It was a low driven cross, and he was able to put the ball in the back of the net from close range. The second game saw Wayne Rooney start to win 3-0. A little confusion in the box that allowed Clark to put the ball away for Derby for their first goal. Their second goal came on the 40th minute, and it was a loose ball picked up by Lawrence, who put it into that right hand bottom corner. Their third goal came in the 54th minute, and it was David who managed to get another goal this season. Our next game is Middlesbrough against Bournemouth. I saw Middlesbrough win the first game 2-1, and it was Fry with a header from the corner, and then Bournemouth's first goal of this game came from Williams, who sorted the ball into the bottom left hand corner. Middlesbrough continued, and it was Patrick Roberts with this lovely threaded ball into Assam Bolonga, who managed to steal the points in this first game for Middlesbrough. The second game saw Bournemouth run out 1-0 victors against Middlesbrough, and it was some nice link-up play from the striker and Williams, who managed to get his second goal against this opposition. Bournemouth are title contenders for this league, and let's see if they're able to capitalise on that positive 1-0 victory. Our next game is Norwich City and Preston North End. Preston took the lead just on the stroke of half time, and it was Ponce who managed to put the ball away. The second game saw this fabulous goal from Jack Clark, who is on loan from Tottenham Hotspur, and he must have run from his own half and puts the ball into the back of the net. Preston continued, and it was a summer signing who managed to shoot from outside the box with this great finish. Norwich changed their shape a little bit, changed their formation, but it was Sinclair who managed to play this cross in and give a lovely assist to Louis Moult, who grabbed his first goal of this season. As I said, Norwich are title contenders here, can they improve on these two defeats by Preston. Our next game is Nottingham Forest and Cardiff City. These games are probably the most competitive and most entertaining of the lot, and it was Lewis Grabban who grabbed the only goal in the first game. The second game saw Nottingham Forest win 4-2, but it was Cardiff City that took the lead with Benkovic with the finish. Nottingham Forest continued to pile on the pressure for Cardiff, and it was Freeman who put the ball into the back of the net, made it 1-1. And it was that man again, Lewis Grabban, who is in great form against this opposition, and he managed to split the defence and put the ball into that bottom right hand corner. Grabban was involved in this next goal, and also Freeman as well, the two goal scorers linking up for Grabban's second 3-1 to Nottingham Forest. Not all was lost for Cardiff City, and they managed to put the ball into the back of the net to make it 3-2. But it was a corner kick and the own goal from Benkovic that allowed the Nottingham Forest pick up all 3 points. Reading against Barnsley, it was Collie Woodrow with this penalty kick on the 75th minute to allow them to take the lead. But Reading in the 90th minute, and it was Lucas Zhao who managed to get another goal this season. This man was on fire in this second game against Reading, and Reading running out 2-0 victors against Barnsley. As I said, Lucas Zhao was involved again, but it was this assist from Ajaria from inside the box that allowed Reading to take the lead on the 15th minute. Their second goal came in the 60th minute, and it was a loose ball picked up and played to Zhao, who managed to get another goal, but poor defending from the goalkeeper. Our next game is Rotherham against Millwall, and this game ended 1-1. There was some poor defending here, and Jed Wallace was able to capitalise on it and make it 1-0 to Millwall. Rotherham managed to equalise on the 25th minute, and the second game saw pretty much the same sort of game with a 1-1 draw with these two teams that evenly contested. It was Rotherham that took the lead from this long ball, and Marotta managed to put the ball into the back of the net, and Millwall scored from this corner kick, and it was Hutchinson that managed to save the day at the 94th minute. Sheffield Wednesday against Watford. Watford were one of the favourites for the title, and it was this man Sema who was on fire. He scored his first goal on the 20th minute, and then they were able to score again in the space of 2 minutes, and it was that man Sema who beat the goalkeeper at the near post. His third goal came in the 80th minute, and it was Troy Deeney who was put through, and his strike was saved by the goalkeeper, but Sema was able to pick up on the loose ball and put it into the back of the net for his hat-trick. The second game saw Sheffield Wednesday win 2-0, and it was Fernandez with the penalty. And then they managed to steal the victory from this long ball, and it was Brown who placed the ball into the bottom left-hand corner. Stoke City against Bristol City, and the first game ended in a 1-1 draw, and it was this well-worked corner routine. Stoke were able to play the long ball through and make the game 1-1 with a long-driven strike into the bottom corner. The second game saw Bristol City win 3-2 away from home, and it was Naki Wells that got the first goal from a header from inside the box. Bristol City looked really well in this game, and they managed to double their lead through Aarons, who put the ball at the goalkeeper's near post. This is when you thought the tables were turned, and Stoke City with the best finish of the game so far. That was Fletcher from about 35 yards out. As we said, Stoke City looked like they were going to maybe nick this game, and they ended up equalising from close range, but it was a penalty to Bristol City that meant that they took all 3 points off of Stoke. The last game is Swansea City against Birmingham City, and it was Andre Ayew who was the man on target from inside the 6-yard box. The second goal came on the 88th minute, and it was this lovely ball that was played to Ayew, who managed to slot the ball into that bottom right hand corner. The second game, it was Andre Ayew again getting another goal against this opponent on the 88th minute. That is 3 against Birmingham City for this man. Now, let's have a look back on all these fixtures. Sema's performance must have been the pick of the bunch of all the games this week, with him getting a high rating of probably 9 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10, with his hat-trick against Sheffield Wednesday. Stephen Fletcher's 35-yard trip was the pick of the bunch in the Stoke City Stadium against Bristol City. Jack Clarke is a contender for goal of the season after his fine strike against Norwich City. Andre Ayew would like to continue his great form after scoring 3 against Birmingham City over the 2 games. Wayne Rooney was amongst the goals this week, and can Norwich pick up after those 2 defeats from Preston? Rotherham managed to pick up their first points of the season against Millwall, and let's see if they're able to continue those performances and climb up the table. Here are the results from game week 2. Blackburn and Wycombe were abandoned. Brentford and Huddersfield managed to pick up a win apiece. Coventry and QPR drew both their games. Luton Derby won one of them and drew the other. Middlesbrough won one game against Bournemouth, and Bournemouth won their return leg. Norwich City lost both games to Preston 3-0 and 1-0. Nottingham Forest won 1-0 and 4-2 to Cardiff City. Reading picked up a win and Barnsley picked up a win against each other. Rotherham and Millwall were both 1-1 draws. Sheffield Wednesday won 2-0 and lost 3-0 to Watford. Stoke City 2, Bristol City 3, and 1-1 was the result of the second game. Swansea won 2-0 and 1-0 against Birmingham City. Now I'll look to the standings. Derby County are top on 10 points, and Preston are in second with 9 points. And the playoff positions are Swansea, Nottingham Forest, Bristol City and Brentford, and at the bottom of the league is Birmingham, Rotherham and Norwich City. Can these teams turn around their season before it's heading towards relegation? And can Watford break into the playoff positions, and also Middlesbrough challenging as well? For game week 3, and it is Bournemouth against Norwich City, Barnsley against Coventry, Birmingham City and Rotherham, Bristol City versus Sheffield Wednesday, Cardiff City and Reading, Derby County and Blackburn, Huddersfield and Nottingham Forest, Millwall, Brentford, Preston, Stoke City, QPR, Middlesbrough, Watford and Luton Town, Wycombe and Swansea City.